Hello, good evening everyone. My name is Krzysztof Kabaczynski. I'm working for the company BeOptimized in Belgium, and I'm going to show you a small presentation of an application I recently created in order to learn Dash. So I discovered Dash a couple of weeks ago, and I wanted to share my experience with you. So basically here the application is a web application, and the aim is to simulate a stock portfolio. So this is all the numbers are not real. Just wanted to use basic numbers. So for the stock portfolio, I created several layers in my dashboard. The first layer, the first row, contains big numbers of the portfolio, so the total investment, the total portfolio, and the profit and loss. Then I have a grid showing the list of all the different stocks, or eventually some EFTs. And here, what is interesting is that you can click on the different stocks in order to get further details. So everything is based on the YahooFinance package. So that's why here I've put a quick link to that. So I have here the amount of the different stocks, the delta between today and the previous close, the total amount invested, and also the total gain-loss into the entire portfolio. So that's the idea here. I wanted to put some colors in order to highlight the negative numbers and to highlight also the positive numbers. I will show you later on how I did that. Then I have a couple of graphs. Basically, the graphs can be modified via small, it's a radio button in fact here, which allows you to have a zoom on the evolution. The first graphic here contains an aggregated visualization of the portfolio, and the graph in the right shows you the performance of the different stocks. For that, I considered that all the stocks had a value of 100 euro. Like this, you can compare them more easily. Then, if you want to have further details about specific stocks, I created here this graphic where you can click the stock and see the individual the individual evolution. The red line corresponds to the amount of the purchase amount of the stock. Then for the EFTs, I created this one. Basically here I'm using I'm not using the standard YahooFinance module. I'm using something else, the Query Finance module, which allows you to have the repartition of the different holders for a specific ETF. For example, here for the semiconductors, we have Broadcom, we have Nvidia, we have Qualcomm, and so on. Then, in the bottom, we have a repartition of the portfolio across the geography, across the different platforms, and so on. So let's have a look inside the code. So for the code, I'm using Visual Studio. Basically, I have two codes, one for the functions and one the main code called stocks here. First thing, I'm loading the different packages, including my functions. Then I load the style sheet, and for the stocks, I wanted to do it very easily via Excel. So basically I have an Excel spreadsheet containing all the stocks. I can show it to you now. And this Excel spreadsheet is the input of the entire project. So I just have to fill in the different parameters here, and automatically the rest will be created for me. So that's my input. So I read the Excel via Panda, then I make a call to the different functions, and for the functions, basically, up here, get stock stats. Well, basically, everything is in Excel, so I can use, because I don't have a lot of records, I can use an iter rows in order to read successively all the different stocks from my Excel spreadsheets. And what I do basically, I select the different values of my Excel, and then I'm calling the YahooFinance module for the specific stock, and I getting the information and I concatene everything into a data frame. That's really the idea, and it works in the same way for all the other data frames. So in my dashboard, the first row contains, in reality, contains 3 columns. The 3 columns are total investment, total portfolio, and profit and loss. Everything is concatenated into a container here, into a big row. And the row is displayed on top of the dashboard. I've put also some colors. You can put primary, you can put danger, you can put other colors if you want. I do it depending on the values. Then I have my grid containing the list of all the stocks, and here for the story, so I colored everything thanks to a style data condition, and I put in red all the colors, all the values below 0, and I put everything in green when it's above 0. So this is the result here. Then what do we have here? Well, the graphics here can be modified thanks to radio button. The radio button is here. Then the graph is here. In fact, how does it work? Here you define the layout of the dashboard. How do you want to rearrange the different elements together? But in the bottom, you have in the callback the interaction between the radio button and the graphic, and then the parameters of the radio buttons are pushed into another function here, and the radio button elements are used as a filter, and then after the graphic goes back to the screen. So here, every block of code corresponds to a specific graphic. I'm using bar chart, I'm using line chart, I'm using pie chart. Okay. What more? So here also, yes. So I made all my tests in my local environment, and then I pushed everything into a Docker container, or into a Docker image, pushed on my registry. And this Docker image, so I created a small Docker Compose script. I can show you my Docker Compose script here. Basically, the name of the image is on my registry, and it's called stocks. I've put a amount between the container and my drive in order to make my Excel spreadsheet available, and then a port redirection. And I can show you here that the container is running. The container is running on my NAS. I have a NAS, and the container is running on my NAS. Like this, I don't have to switch on my laptop every day. My NAS is switched on every day, and like this, my application is available also on the mobile. Okay, I think that's it. So as you can see here, that's the port. So here I'm using here the NAS IP address, and here that's the port of the NAS. Okay, so if you want to ask me questions, feel free. If you want to take my image, feel free also. It's here, Kabaczynski/stocks. For me, there is no issue to reuse that. So feel free to contact me if you want to have further information. Okay, thank you, bye-bye.